What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Zach. I know it's been at least 8 days, maybe 9 days since I posted last here on YouTube. I had a UTI infection, and usually when I get the UTI infections, I go to the hospital. I get taken to the hospital. But this time I was still able to fight things off and stay here at home and not have to go to the hospital. I'm glad that turned out the way it did. But let me say this. No matter a person's disability, we all are 100% human. We all have a 100% different, but 100% true story about us. Just because someone has a disability doesn't make them any different than someone that's walking or whatever the case may be. It doesn't mean, just because a person has a disability doesn't make a person different. A person with a disability just has, a different way of doing things. For example, me with the wheelchair, you might see a person, you see a person that can run a mile around a high school track, like you see a lot of people do track meets, and you see a lot, but I as well, and even though I'm in a wheelchair, I as well can run that mile. Now, a person walking can maybe run a mile in 10 minutes. I'm just throwing out numbers at you. Maybe a person walking can run a mile in 10 minutes. Now, as me in a wheelchair, I'll still be able to do that mile as that person who ran it. But for me, it's going to take a lot longer. I'm not that, it might take you 10 minutes to run that mile because you're on your feet. Now, for me, it might take me 15, 20 minutes. But it can still be done. And I tell you what, back in in my high school days, when I was in my weight training classes and gym classes, we had to run, laps, run a mile, and yes, I will say it was tough. And you know what? Yes, it did cause, splinters and all that. Just because just from pretty much wheeling that whole time, it would cause splinters. It would cause, not splinters, blisters. Excuse me. It would cause all kinds of blisters on my hands just from wheeling. Even when I had gloves on. If I wore gloves, I did that a lot to help me get a better grip of the wheels, or the metal on the wheels. But what I'm saying to you is this: I still did it. I still did it. And that was one of the things we had to do for a final, it was run a mile. Out on on the high school track, and also swim a mile in a high school pool. I still did it. I got in the pool, down and back, down and back, as many times as I think it was like 4 laps, in the pool. I forget. I think it was 4 laps. But what I'm saying is, I didn't let just because I had a wheelchair, that didn't stop me. I still did those 4 laps. I still, did those 4 laps in the pool, and I did those 4 laps out on the, high school track. But again, still did it. Now, like I said, yes, it took me a lot longer than it did everybody else. But then again, when something like that, you definitely can tell in your balance, and it messes with you, With that said, I have trouble with. I'm trying to think how to say this. Like how like when you walk. When you're walking somewhere, you actually pick your leg up, bend it, on both sides. For me, it's hard for me to, really kick and all that as far as being in the pool. But do I still get in the pool and swim around? Yeah, I do. It's been a while, but yes, I still will get out and do things. Well, so what I'm saying to is this: your disability don't define you. Yeah, some people might make you. Might make you think that. That's what some people want you to think. Don't listen to them. Because again, your disability doesn't define you. You define you. So the next time you see someone that's, either, in a wheelchair or walking with a walker or crutches or even a walking cane, remember, that person or persons is just like you. Look at that person and try to visualize that person without that walker. Don't actually take it from them, but just try to visualize that person without a walker or without a wheelchair. And what do you have? You have a 100% human. That's obviously got to just, go about things, some things a little bit different than you. So just because you got to go about something different, don't make you different. You have to go about something different, but that don't make you any different than anybody else. You're still 100% human. I can promise you that. So just because you got to go about something different, that don't make you different. And again, I do want to make this with my YouTube channel. I would love to make this a working, paying job because, again, I love to work with people. I love to help people get through anything that you go through or have also been through. And I say it like that because, yes, unfortunately, the past can and does sneak up on us all. I've had that happen to me. But with that said, also, even if you have a situation and maybe it's a situation that I've never been through, I'll even put myself in I'll try to, try to put myself in your position and see things how you see things, in other words, or try to see things how you see things. And then, when I, try to see things how you see things, and then give you my advice on, how to go about getting around that obstacle, how to handle things, because if I know how to, if I know someone's situation and I know that they're having, trouble with it, I try to put myself in that situation and say, okay, this is what this person's having trouble with, or that's what that person's having trouble with. How do they get around that? Or how would I get around that if it was me in that situation? And then give that person or persons my advice. But and that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. No matter what, even if it's a situation that I've never been through, I'm still gonna put myself try to put myself in your situation, or see things the way you see them, and then give you my advice and say, okay, this is how I would overcome this, or overcome that situation. So with that said, keep being you. Let nothing or no one hold you back. And again, if you comment or comment once or twice, even if it's 1,000 comments, I'm just trying to be, it can be 1,000 comments. I'm still gonna answer y'all. I'm still gonna answer all the comments. When I look and I see that notification, that if I see that notification and it's a comment, I'm gonna answer that comment or respond. Also, when I respond to your comments, if I see that I'm not subscribed to your YouTube channel already, I will subscribe to your YouTube channel as well. So I will respond and subscribe if I'm not already subscribed to your YouTube channel. Again, with that said, keep being you. Keep smiling. No matter what you're after, you got this. Keep being you. And do me a favor if you would. Please. One, share this. If you would, share this YouTube video to anybody that you feel like that you feel like it might help. If you feel like it'll help somebody, share it to them. And I hope, not only that, but I hope it helps you too. Because that's what I love doing. I love being able to help people. So keep being you. And let nothing or no one hold you back. Let's get it.